Hello Libra, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Libra is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free, doesn't cost anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Libra, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we have a Queen of Swords. This is about objectivity. This is about sort of detaching from a situation in order to really take a good look at it, to see what is going on. I think this is one of your sort of important skills right now, is your ability to step back from whatever's going on in your life and get the big picture view. Detach from it a little bit. Be honest about what you see. Okay? Let's put this card into a little bit of context here. We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. And look at that. That's pretty good. 6 of Pentacles. An Ace of Cups. Okay. All right. 10 of Cups. The Three of Swords versus an Ace of Cups. What do you really see here? Okay. We've got the Sun card. Very nice. Path of the Serpent, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. We have a Knight of Wands. We have an 8. Yeah, I see what's going on here. 8 of Swords. And look at that, the Star. This is crazy. I can't believe what I'm seeing here. This is extraordinary. Wow, yeah. What is trying to enter the world through you? Okay, you're here looking at this very shining light in your life. This is the card of success. It's a 6 of Pentacles. You're looking at something, I think, in your life that seems to be going really well. It's shining, it's sparkling, it seems great, it seems perfect. Seems too good to be true, is it? You know, we're looking at this, and I think you're trying to really have that objective view. You want to know that you can believe what you're seeing. So that's why we've got this Queen of Swords trying to look at this in an objective way and say, is this really the pot of gold? Is this really the satisfaction? Is this really my purpose? Is this really what is trying to manifest itself through me? Is this my destiny? Does this really feel as good? Is this as meaningful as it looks? Is this real? Right? So you're looking at this kind of success in your life. You're looking at this, I don't know, whatever this structure is. And we'll take a deeper look at all these energy. This is really crazy. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're just going to set this down right over here with Clark W. Griswold III, a.k.a. Sparky. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, okay? But it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If at any point during this program you feel like you know what that card is, please put your prediction down in the comments. Let's do it together. Let's use our intuition, okay? Now, this is good. Let's look around the room. The Star, the Sun, and the Wheel of Fortune. You're looking at this 6 of Pentacles. This is material success. This is something in your life that on the surface seems to be going really freaking good, right? But you, in your kind of classic Libra way, is trying to look at it from a higher, broader perspective, from that detached bird's eye, big picture thing. And you're thinking, is this really what I think it is? Can I be happy about this? Like, it seems perfect. Do I allow myself to love it? Do I allow myself to really feel good about this, right? Or do I Three of Swords, right? I think there's a tendency to kind of look at something as being too good to be true. Looking at something like, wait a minute, that seems good, but there must be something wrong with it. Okay? Must be something wrong with it. And I think that has a lot to do with something from your past, but we'll get there. So we have our really nice major arcana energies. We have the Sun here. And the Sun is, you're kind of like looking at the Six of Pentacles and thinking, is that something real, right? But I think the more you look at it, the more you realize that this is a yes. This is really, it is what you think it is. It is a shining sun behind this thing. It is authentic. It is real. And it is being born into the world through you. Okay? You have a very strong connection with Spirit right now. I feel that you are, you're really tapped in. Okay? But I like that you have this very reasonable and objective, perspective on things, that you like to sort of zoom out and you like to look at this thing, the Six of Pentacles, in context and think, okay, am I being foolish here? Is there something I'm not seeing? Where are the red flags? Like, we're looking for the red flags. What you're seeing is this luminous sun. Absolute perfection here. Okay? This is real. Yeah. This is very, very real. Whether it's a successful business, whether this is a situation or a group of friends, a family thing, if this is a romantic partnership, there's harmony. You're looking at something that is just radiating light, and you're thinking, is that an artificial light, or is that really sunshine I see? Well, it really is sunshine that you see. Okay, this is beautiful. Of course, we've got the Star card. That is sort of the destiny. That is like, I used to think the Star card was about asking the questions, who am I and why am I here? But then I read a book by James Hollis, and he rephrases it a different way, and he says, instead of asking who I am and why am I here, let's ask what wants to enter the world through me. Because that's what we always talk about with the Star card, right? The light comes in, it gets processed by our human thoughts and feelings, and then the light pours out from us. So it really is something that's going through us. Are we helping it to go through, or are we slowing it down, corrupting it, degrading the signal, or trapping it inside, right? What is the interference that's happening inside of us that's preventing this light from flowing through us? And what is the nature of that light? Because the Star card it illuminates what's going on within us. So we can see where our blockages are, where we're hindering that light from flowing through. You see, when we allow the light to flow through us, not only are we sort of fulfilling our destiny, but we're becoming the magician. The magician is the one who can in a very clear channel kind of way, allow that light to flow through them, and they can manifest that light. Okay, so the Star card is kind of showing us how to be the magician, essentially. But it really is asking the question, what wants to enter the world through us? And I think, how are the swords and cups, right, our heart and mind, hindering that from happening? How are we preventing that? How are we slowing it down? How are we messing with that signal? We need to tune ourselves just right so that we can channel that light directly through, and it will manifest out into the world, and we will, I think that's living a meaningful life. Yeah. So the Six of Pentacles really can be anything. All right. I think you're getting a lot of synchronicity, a lot of serendipity in your life. Again, we're sort of looking at this and thinking, is this real? Is this a joke? Is someone playing a trick on me? Because this is way too good to be true. If this is really what we think it is, that's a whole lot of blessings from the universe, right? So this is something very major in your life. This is perhaps that light at the end of the tunnel, and we're thinking, is that really light, or is that sunshine, or is that a train coming at me? And that's the difference between the Three of Swords and the Ace of Cups. We have a little bit of fire energy here. We definitely have, our water cards. We definitely have our air cards. And we've got our earth energy. right there. Now, the air cards, I think, are interesting, too, because and I guess we should start with the air, because the air is, of course, at first, it is our ability to get that bird's eye view and take a look at something objectively and see, what is it? Is it real? Should I accept it? Are there red flags? Right? Am I deluding myself and thinking that this is a good thing? I want it to be an Ace of Cups. I want to love it. I want it to be real. But what if it's some kind of, is this really the Holy Grail, or is it just some kind of a poison cup? Reminds me of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, right? Trying to figure out which cup is the Grail. Yeah. So the air energy starts out as our detachment, trying to say, okay, I'm just gonna relax. I'm gonna look at it, and I'm gonna try to figure out what's really going on here. But see, this, I think, brings us to our Three of Swords. We have a tendency to see the negative. We have a tendency to disbelieve. It's kind of a skeptic energy in a way. That if something is too good to be true, it probably is. If something seems this great, there's probably something wrong with it. And I think that this has some connection with this Ten of Cups in your background. Because I think the Ten of Cups might be a situation where you got your hopes up very, very, very high on something. And perhaps with our Three of Swords, it didn't quite work out that way. Our hopes got crushed, and now we've learned to not get our hopes up so high, right? Even though I think your hopes are up fairly high anyway. But the Three of Swords is us recognizing that, okay, look, I have a tendency to kind of look for the negative in things like this. But this is at the top of the path of the dove, right? This is something you're consciously aware of. So you're taking this into account. When you're looking at this thing, you're taking it into account. So your Queen of Swords is looking at this situation, keeping in mind the Three of Swords, also keeping in mind your tendency to get your hopes up pretty high, and the way that we want this to be real so bad that we might delude ourselves into thinking it's absolutely perfect. It's like when you're going to buy a car and you need it, you want it so bad. The first car you see, you're just like, I love it, it's perfect, I'll take it. It turns out to be a lemon, So this is about you sort of stepping back and realizing, I have a tendency to sort of get worked up about things and fall in love quickly. I have a tendency to to get my hopes up, and so I'm going to be very skeptical of this, and I'm going to try to find the red flags. I'm going to try to find the negative about it. I may have a tendency to do that a little bit too much. But what we don't want, ultimately, is the Eight of Swords. We don't want to get so wrapped up in this whole thought process, because look, now we're all tangled up in all these swords cards. Now we don't know what to think about it. And now we're going back and forth, and ultimately we have to just sort of trust in the energy. We have to use our spiritual vision, and we have to see beyond the thoughts in our head. Okay? And maybe that's why the Queen has to rise above this stuff and get that objective viewpoint. We have to recognize that sometimes we get mired, sometimes we get tangled up in our thoughts and in our hopes and wishes too, and then we can't see what's what. We can't see which way is up here. The Queen, though, has to rise above that and separate yourself from all of these so that you can get that detached view, and you can say, oh yeah, look, this really is perfect. Look at that. When we get rid of this stuff, the Queen is here looking at this and thinking, yeah, this is so awesome. This is perfect. I did get my hopes up for this. This is everything that I wanted. This really is perfect harmony here. This is a bright, beautiful, living sun behind all this light. Okay, this is also the light of clarity, of spiritual clarity. Yeah. So I think this is exactly what you want it to be. And I think that you're going to recognize it as being such before the mind sort of pushes us to a reaction against it. That may be a reaction of too much attachment. We're too eager, we're just going to cling to it right away. or too much rejection, just where we're just going to say, no, I'm not buying it, and we're going to walk the other direction. We don't want to do either one impulsively. We want to be sort of zen about it, you know? It's not easy to be zen about something that's, I think, this meaningful to you. The Ace of Cups, we kind of talked about it a little bit, but I think that this is really that desire you have in your heart. You want this to be real. Whether it's a relationship, a job opportunity, a travel opportunity, some sort of recognition, some sort of award, some sort of bonus, some sort of financial thing coming in, whatever it is. We want it to be real. We need it. And we've been searching for this kind of thing for a long time. And now it seems like it's here. We're a little cautious, but we're oh so eager, right? We're oh so eager for this to be real. We really, really do want this, you know. The 10 of Cups in the background here, I think, first of all, with these two together, there was a time where you got your hopes up pretty high on something and it kind of you got cut down, okay? But if we recognize that that has happened before, then we can take the 10 of Cups and say, you know what, this is something that I really do believe can happen. This is a card of fulfillment, of true satisfaction. Okay? So we have to ask ourselves, is this thing, getting that objective viewpoint and really looking at it, is this thing really going to satisfy me? Is this the one? Is this going to really fill all my cups? You know? I think that in some ways we're hoping that the search is over. This is a completion of the quest for that Holy Grail. That we have found it. We have satisfied that need and that desire, that longing of the soul, right? And in some ways, it sort of means that the work is just beginning, because we're realizing that, yes, this is me being that clear channel for this spiritual light. That this is satisfying this quest. Well, now we've found the Grail. Well, now we've got to take it home, and now we've got to place it on the altar, and now we've got to live that life as a knight of the Holy Grail. The quest to find it is over, but life still needs to happen, right? And so I think this is a fulfillment of your destiny in that way, that you've understood what it is that is trying to manifest itself through you. And now that you've discovered that thing, and this seems to be that light there, this spiritual light, we're looking at it as light and we're thinking, is this that spiritual light? Is this the thing that I'm supposed to be doing? And we realize that, oh yeah, it is the sunlight. It is the spiritual divine light flowing through me. So we're sort of answering the question, yes, this is what wants to enter the world through me, whatever the details of it are. Okay? And it doesn't really matter what this is. What matters is that you can say, yes, this is it. This is a manifestation of this spiritual light through me. Does that make sense? In other words, we've been on a search to discover what we're meant to do in life. How we're meant to live, what we're meant to do, what is our destiny? I'm trying to answer that question. What wants to enter the world through me? Well, along comes this. Seems perfect. It seems like it's working well. It seems like everything's in harmony. There's a kind of rhythm to it. There's a flow here. Could this be my destiny? Could this be what I'm meant to do? And then all this other energy, we process all this energy, and we come to find out that, yes, this is the spiritual light manifesting itself through you into the material world, right? Pentacles. I think this is a very divine reading for you. This is really, really perfect. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Okay, it is totally free, doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment, let me know where in the world you're watching from, and let me know a little bit about this if you wish to share anything, okay? I'm very interested in what that is for you. Your general energy is the Wheel of Fortune. You feel like the luckiest person in the world right now. You feel like, holy smokes, millions of us, billions of people are trying to find the Holy Grail, and I found mine. You know, it feels too good to be true. It feels like you got to pinch yourself, right? It feels like there's no way. Like it's kind of like when you win the jackpot, you win the lottery or something, and you're just like, really? Like it takes a minute for it to really register that this is it, that this is what you're meant to do. And yeah, there will be challenges. We know there's going to be challenges. Living this life, there's going to be other adventures to have, right? But you've discovered what you're meant to do. And now it's just a matter of you doing it and maintaining the harmony of the Six of Pentacles. Anytime we get a 6, we know that it can either lean back to a 5 or it can lean forward to a 7. Life now becomes not discovering the thing, but maintaining it. We want to maintain this flow and this harmony because it's inherently an unstable kind of energy. It's blissful. It's like the best day of our lives, right? It's the perfect thing, but it has a tendency to lean back to a 5, which means we got to sort of, we've got to speed up a little bit to keep it vibrating at the right rate of speed. It might start vibrating too fast, and we've got to slow it down a little bit, bring it back to center. Okay? We always have to retune this so it stays in this perfect, it's like an engine that's just purring along, right? Every once in a while, something just sort of vibrates out of phase or out of sync, and you got to just tighten it up. Or you got to loosen a little screw or a little belt over there. You got to tighten some over here, and now it's just running perfectly again. Okay, so that I think is that's what the work becomes. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune is a Jupiter energy. It's about expansiveness. It's about your life. It's suddenly like doors open up. Suddenly all the walls come down and you're just standing in this infinite like meadow, that extends as far as the eye can see. And so I feel that this really opens up the world to you, maybe in a literal way where it opens up opportunity for travel, opportunity for new relationships. Things are really turning in your favor, right? A lot of serendipity, a lot of synchronicity, a lot of things falling into place. There's a faith, a hope, and a trust in the universe itself, that when we have discovered our true path and we're living that true path in the way we discussed, that the universe will conspire to help you, that you will find the resources, the people, the places, the things that you need when you need them. It's like the universe has got your back now. It's like you're being sort of pushed forward by the universe. And we see that as well with our Knight of Wands, because the Knight of Wands is a very fast-moving energy, very impulsive. It's fire on fire. It's burning hot and bright. Okay? And so it is a mobilization of our energy, but it's also a reminder that we sometimes have to slow the horse down a little bit. Okay? That when we win the lottery, sometimes we get a little carried away. We get a little bit overzealous, a little bit overly enthusiastic, right? So we have to be able to hold the reins and sort of navigate this again with the Queen of Swords energy, detaching from it a little bit so we can see, we can take a breath, we can figure out what to do next, step by step, instead of just letting the horse sort of carry us off. We don't want to just get carried away, right, by all of the success and all of this, I think, this very joyous feeling. This is intensely pleasurable, right? And we have a tendency to get carried away by it. So we need to pace ourselves a little bit there. This is also telling me that your life is going to change very quickly. Okay? That there's going to be a lot more for you to do in a shorter period of time. So we have to be energetic. We have to be able to mobilize our energy, but we still got to have that very, to me feels very objective perspective on things. Okay? So the Knight of Wands is a sort of a mixed blessing. It's a lot of things happening all at once, and it's a reminder that sometimes we've got to slow down so that we can really gauge how we're doing and whether or not we're maintaining the smooth flow and resonance of this thing, or if it's starting to lean toward a 5 or lean forward toward a 7. And maybe the mystery card will help us out with that, but we'll see. We talked about the 8 of Swords, which is that rumination, that we're going back and forth between, is this the best thing I've ever done or the worst thing that's ever happened? Is this thing perfect for me, or is it going to be my downfall? Is this my destiny, or is this just me deluding myself? Right? Is this an Ace of Cups or a 3 of Swords? What is it? And we're going back and forth. It's a figure 8. It's the lemniscate, right? We're infinitely looping back in on the same problems, the same questions. Is this my destiny? Is this real life, or is this just fantasy, right? This is the obstacle to get over. This is what we have to overcome. It's the final step here. It's the final river we have to cross to get to that fulfillment of our destiny, to answer the question, what wants to enter the world through you? I know what it is now. Who am I and why am I here? I know what it is now. Okay, so this is us still asking the same question over and over and over again when it's right here in front of our face. Right? We get over this thought process, this rumination, and we just live that life. We live our destiny. And we are now that clear channel. The light is coming in through the top and it's going out. And we're channeling that. And that spiritual sunlight, that solar light, the light of the universe, the spiritual light, the divine energy, is manifesting itself through us out into the world. And the star card becomes the magician card. I wonder if this will be the magician. I sort of hope it will be. But we know there's going to be challenges, and the challenges are, I think, always going to be of a mental or intellectual nature for you. I think you're always going to kind of, when anything happens, I think you have that sort of, that mental energy that kicks in and says, wait a minute, let me take a look at it, right? So maybe the star card is about us learning how to accept the mind that it does that, but just very quickly let it go so that we don't interfere with the flow. Like I said at the beginning, if we're trying to be that clear channel of the spiritual light that flows through us, it's going to get tangled up in these wires, and we're going to impede the process. That spiritual light coming in is never going to get out because it's going to get tangled up in these wires. Our human mind is going to interfere with that clear channel. We want to be a clear, open conduit of the spiritual light. Well, this is all a bunch of wires. It's going to interfere with that, right? It's like an electrical circuit. Okay. We've got to be the clear channel. I want this to be the magician. I really do. If you have a prediction for this card, please put it in the comments down below. I'm thinking magician, or I'm thinking some very active water energy. Like maybe a 9. I think a 3 of cups would be pretty. A 3 of cups would be pretty nice, actually. But we'll see what we get. Let's take a look. Okay, 7 of Pentacles. Not what I was expecting, but we do see that the perfection and the harmony of something, it's going to require maintenance. And that's what the 7 of Pentacles is. It's kind of like we got to slow down, and something's been going too fast, so we've got to bring it back. We've got to slow things down a little bit and have the patience to bring things back to the perfection of a 6. This is the perfect rate of speed. This is like, when you're trying to work on your engine and you want your car to idle at a certain RPM, like 900 or whatever. Some cars are like, they idle at like 700 RPMs, for all of you, car people out there. If it's idling too fast, something's wrong. If it's idling too slow, right, your RPMs, something's wrong. So if it's idling too fast, what we got to do is we got to tinker with it and bring it back a little bit. And then we just got to look, we got to watch it and think, okay, yeah, it's right around 750, 800. That's perfect. It sounds perfect. It's beautiful, right? We're not trying to rush things along. We have patience. We know that through our diligent and careful work applied to this life, whatever this destiny is, whatever is trying to manifest itself through you, you need to have patience, and you need to just put in the work. And it's kind of like, it's a karma yoga, for one thing. because it's not us. It's very Taoist too. It's like it's not us that's doing it. It's flowing through me, and I'm just here. I'm just the caretaker. I'm just the one that's here to sort of facilitate this happening, right? And our heart and mind are not impeding the process. That we're here. We're peaceful. We're tending to this garden of our life. We're not trying to go too fast. We're not trying to go too slow and be lazy, right? We have passion and energy and joy and bliss. We have enthusiasm. Yeah. We have zeal for this work, but we have patience. And we're putting in the work. We're doing what needs to be done to make it as perfect as possible so that we try to be the best that we can be. So whatever is manifesting through us can be as pure as the light we received. Yeah. This is extraordinary. We're going to do an extended reading as well. We're going to do a hexagram from the I Ching. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's also a link down below. New readings for Libra Wednesday and Saturday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It is free. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.